Here's another edition of We Have Food at Home and another dinner idea. Stay tuned to see how we made this. Okay, here's what you need to make the sopa de conchas with ground beef and potatoes. So I have these shells here, chicken bouillon, onion, garlic, chili powder, cumin, tomato sauce. You can use 1 pound of ground beef, but we have 8 of us tonight, so I'm gonna make 2 because we like a lot of meat in our soup. Some potatoes, and then we're also having fried cheese roll-ups with that. So I have corn tortillas and queso fresco that I'm gonna cut into small strips. And the first thing we're going to do is fry up our ground beef. Okay, we're gonna cut up 3 potatoes. It's up to you what size you want to cut them. I cut them into like that big of a size. I'm gonna dice up 3 of those and add those to our. Now that my ground beef is almost brown, I'm gonna add in my 2 potatoes, and we're gonna cook this down until the potatoes start getting a little bit soft, and then we're gonna do the noodles next. Okay, in a big pot, I am going to add that much, about that much. It will spread around. Olive oil, and I'm gonna add 1 bag of these concha shells inside of there, and we're gonna brown that up. I'm also gonna add about that much garlic. You could also add diced onion, like raw onion here, but I did not know I was out of onion. And then for this recipe, guys, I am cheating using tomato sauce, but normally I would use tomatoes and make my own sauce with the blender, but I don't have any tomatoes either, and so I decided to make this last minute. I'm not in the mood to go to the store today, so we're just gonna do what we have. Okay, so we're gonna brown up these shells so they're all nice and toasty. And we're gonna let that go down for a few minutes. I have it on a medium heat. Yeah. Okay, my potatoes are not cooked all the way, but they're cooked down some. So this is when we're gonna combine that to the pasta. Now that my noodles are all nice and toasty, let's combine this thing. Okay, I had to put it into a bigger pot so that would have more room, because you want to have enough room to add as much soup as you're going to want to that. Now I have water. You can add more. We do like ours a little soupy, so I'm going to add a little bit more water. Okay, I've added about that much water. That is all the garlic and things floating. So now we're going to add our seasonings. 1 can of tomato sauce. My favorite brand to use is the Goya. I use this for my Puerto Rican rice as well. Okay, normally I would add chicken bouillon, but since this is beef and I have beef bouillon, which I normally don't, I'm just gonna add them in here. Now this is gonna be pretty much the only salt that I'm gonna add, so we're gonna adjust it as we go. Onion powder. I don't have onions, so I'm gonna put a lot of onion powder. Garlic powder. A little bit of chili powder. And some cumin. Now we're gonna mix this all up. And then you can taste it to see if you have enough salt or if you need to add more beef or chicken bouillon. Okay, mine is perfect just the way I did it. So I am going to put it on a medium heat. Now we're going to cook this down until the noodles are cooked through and the potatoes. In the meantime, we're going to start on our fried cheese. Once this is finished, 'cause it does have to cool down, and then I'll do the fried cheese roll-ups. So those are pretty quick. We'll come back for that. Okay, here's what it looks like when it is finished. Potatoes are soft, the noodles are swelled up, and see, it took a lot of the soup. That's why I put a lot of water in it. So now we're gonna make some fried cheese. Okay, so I have this queso fresco here, and I'm just gonna put them into some thick. I'm not gonna use all of it, but I'm gonna make them into thin sticks like this, and then I'm going to cut them up into pieces. The ends that are too short, I am going to use them to crumble to put on top of the soup. Like these over here, I'm gonna use for the soup. And then when they're like this, then I'm just gonna cut them in half. They may fall apart, but into some sticks. And you can even use regular cheese if you like, or shredded cheese. But we just use these. That's how that looks. And I'm gonna put oil in my pan. Okay, so I'm gonna take a tortilla. I warmed them up a little bit. I'm gonna put, they may break, but it's okay. I'm gonna put one in there and then roll it up. You have to use it on the plate. I'm gonna roll it up and put it in the oil. And we're just gonna fry these up until they're brown on all sides. Okay, and I'll be back. Okay, so you want to cook them until they look like this and the cheese kind of gets melty. And we're going to put those off to the side and finish those. I messed up one here, but it's okay. We're going to keep going. For the kids, they don't really like the queso fresco, so I'm going to use some Mexican shredded cheese and roll those up and fry those for them. So I'll be back. Okay, and then for the kids ones, I'm just going to put some Mexican blend cheese in the middle. Should roll them up the same way and then put them in the pan. And I'm gonna go ahead and get all of these done, and we'll be back to cook.